Today I'm going to talk about what does it mean to spiritually awaken. What is a spiritual awakening? And what does that entail? So, at its fundamental level, a spiritual awakening is deepening one's understanding of physical reality, which is, as I explained in previous videos, our physical reality is a projection of our own consciousness. If you look at it on the quantum physics level, what we see in our physical reality is one fixed reality that exists in simultaneous infinite possibilities and infinite potential states. And the reason why we see this fixed reality is because we as the consciousness and the observer are creating that fixed reality. So we see that reality is somewhat of an illusion, and it's really just a projection of our own consciousness as the observer. So a spiritual awakening is happening to a lot of people all over the world. It's not like one person is saying to another person, like, oh, hey, you should spiritually awaken. It's the next cool thing in town. And then they're like, okay, I'm going to spiritually awaken. It's something that just happens to people in their lives. It can happen gradually over time, but most often it happens when someone has gone through a really tough time in their life, like a trauma, a really dark place. And it kind of triggers this spiritual awakening in them because they've been to the lowest of the lowest, and they reach this kind of resolution in their mind that they're going to figure out how to get out of that place. And the thing with spiritual awakening is it comes with healing that dark place in your life, typically. Because you've reached such a dark place and you realize that the normal ways of addressing the problem in the world aren't helping you. It's not cutting it. Taking medication, maybe help some people for a bit to stay afloat, but it doesn't cure the issue at the root cause. And so people usually end up finding this themselves in this place of spiritual awakening when they want to dig deeper and deeper and deeper and really find out the root cause or how to heal this root cause. That's how I reached my own spiritual awakening, because of the dark place that I found myself in. And I tried medication and went to therapy, and I realized that there was something deeper to get to, something deeper, some method that will get to the core of it. And I already had these questions kind of on my mind, these pressing things that I needed to know, like how, like I had learned through religion, what spirituality is, but there were just questions and gaps that I couldn't get answers to, and I needed to know deeper and deeper. Like, I want to know more. I want to know deeper how to connect the dots between these experiences and these questions that I've had, and I just needed answers. And as I went through my own healing process and kind of my own discovery process of what it means to heal and how to heal, I started to open up more spiritually. So what does it mean to open up spiritually is really just gaining an understanding and building a clearer picture in your mind through your own experiences of what is the nature of reality. So through my own experience and through my healing, I discovered energy healing and healing core beliefs about yourself that you form from childhood. I realized the nature of time, the illusion of linear time, and that was kind of slowly coming from different experiences that I had about, realizing that time isn't linear. And I was like, if time isn't linear, then what is time? And I started to just build a clearer picture. That's what spiritual awakening is through your own experiences, building a clearer picture of what reality is. And at a certain point, you get it. You're like, you don't have these questions of what is God, who are we, what is this reality, what are we here to do, what is our purpose. Spiritual awakening is realizing all of that. And it's not like learning it from a book. Like, they're going to tell me this, so I'm going to believe it because they said so. Even though I don't really fully understand how, but, I'm just going to believe it. That's not what spiritual awakening is. Spiritual awakening is knowing, not believing, but knowing from your own experience the true nature of reality. And what is this experience? Who are we? What is consciousness? What is God, which is a huge, deeper concept than what's taught in a book. God is I'll make a different video on what is God. But that's part of the spiritual awakening process, is understanding what is God, if you even want to call it that, because that name has all these associations from what's been taught in such a limited perspective, in a limited way of what the true essence of this reality is. God is essentially the essence of this reality, and there's so much more to say about that. But in essence, that's what spiritual awakening is coming to understand and know what this experience is and how it works and how we influence our own experience. And it's just living your life with that foundational understanding and knowing that you gained from your own experience without having to learn it from someone else or from a book. You just kind of you put the pieces of the puzzle together from your healing journey, basically learning how it is that you're able to heal, understanding the mechanisms of energy and understanding vibration and understanding, kind of playing around with your consciousness. Like, I can believe this, and I can see what my external reality is reflecting back to me out of my beliefs, and I can put the pieces of the puzzle together in my life circumstances and realize how it is that I experienced that, and how it is that I responded, and how it is that by my response I came to experience this, and it's kind of just realizing how and seeing how this is a projection of your consciousness. And it's not like someone told you that and you believed it. You saw it from your own experience. So all these people who are going through the spiritual awakening, it's not like some trend that they picked up because it seemed like a nice idea. It's something that happened to them involuntarily, and they didn't plan on having a spiritual awakening. They just started to understand things in a deeper way. And like I said, it typically gets triggered from a deep, dark place that you get to in life. And when you're in that dark, dark place and you're like, I'm going to get myself out of here no matter what it takes. And that resolve, that resolution, that drive, that inspiration is what triggers this awakening. And you start to dig deeper of what is the source of our existence, what is the source of our experience of life, and you start to get it. That's the only way I can explain it. Let me know what your thoughts are, and if you have any other ways of explaining spiritual awakening or any other thoughts, I'm curious to know what your thoughts are. And if you thought this video was very helpful to you and brought you some clarity, if you could share it to a few groups or on your Facebook page and spread the knowledge, it'd be really appreciated.